Okay, so hi guys, we're here today for a special Earth Day uh, discussion. So we shall be discussing today about the positive effects of lockdown, how it has benefited the Earth, how the lockdown has changed so many things. So to give you a brief overview, we've been seeing a lot of news articles. We've been seeing articles about how there is a decrease in pollution. We've been seeing articles about how animals are roaming the streets everywhere. We've also been seeing a lot of articles on how rivers seem to be healing and so many things. Everything just seems to be greener, fresher. And for some reason, this decreased human activity is benefiting the earth way more than we ever thought it would. So, we will talk about a lot of these things today and maybe even later think about if such a thing should become a part of our normal routine. So I would like to ask Sachin to continue with. He has a lot of things to share with us today. So I would like Sachin to start off with the discussion for now.
Okay. So this is the topic is basically the positive impact of lockdown. So right now, 3.5 billion people are confined, like almost about half of the world population. So yeah, this has like many positive effects. But like firstly, there's like enormous dip in the NO2 release. Like this NO2 contains matter called particulate matter 2.5. Like these are very minute particles which affect the respiratory system and thereby they cause the asthma and other diseases. So yeah. So this NO2 is drastically reduced and so according to sources it has the impact is 4 million deaths per year is because of this NO2 and this has been reduced. And we can see videos on the animals coming out. Many we have seen many videos about that. We don't know how much true it is, but then there are many positive sides. If you see, the air quality is also increased, and the skies are getting more blue, and the stars are also visible. And we heard about the incident, and we saw this Himalayan peaks, which are 140 kilometers away from Jalandhar, which is in Punjab, are now visible. Like it's the first time in 20 to 30 years. So it's like, so basically what we have to observe here is economy is inversely proportional to environment. See, whenever economy falls down, that time we can see like a better environment. Even in the past, it has been improved. Like in 2008, when there was a global economic crisis, that time also the same thing happened, and there are many other past few incidents which prove this theory. If Ganesh has something to say, then I'll continue.
Go ahead, Ganesh.
Yeah, so well, totally support the cause because there are multiple things which we have to admire, were especially regarding the environmental effects of lockdown. Some of the statistics say that there's probably a 71% decrease in the pollution in Delhi, and there've been immense number of videos of animals moving around freely on the roads. Dolphins have returned to Marine Drive. So, a huge change with respect to the environment, with just what about 30 days of which there has been absolutely close to zero movement of human beings. So, one of the major inputs from this is that human beings are probably the only reason right now who affect the environment adversely. Like with containing their movement to such an extent, it's really brought back the life in our environment. And another major factor is yes, all the factories have stopped. The skies are blue, definitely. But yeah, it is something which probably should be incorporated in our daily lives because it's not really nice to see our environment degrading. And we can also witness the fact that if we contain our activities, the environment has the power in itself to rejuvenate and be much more better, not just for us humans as a species, but also all the other animals and plant species existing on the earth. So definitely a huge impact on the environment due to the lockdown, and I totally support keeping some of these norms after the lockdown as well, so that we aid in the improvement of our environment.
So, are you guys able to see this thing which I'm sharing right now? Are you guys able to see it?
No.
1 second. Supported. Okay. So I'm not able to share the file. So I had a picture of the Delhi pollution, how it had changed from two.
Okay, Shravan, I'll try sharing that.
Yeah, try sharing that. I think I wanted to bring that up to actually give people a solid view on how the pollution has changed. So by the time Sachin is able to share that, I also wanted to talk about how
Are you
all
able to
these.
see?
Yes, it's sharing the content. Just 1 second, Sachin. So yeah, I'll let you know when it. Yeah. So over here you can clearly see there is a beautiful. So this graph is in NO2 levels fall dramatically. So it's about the nitrogen. So if you remember, Sachin was talking about the particulate matter and the nitrogen level, nitrogen dioxide emissions. So over here you can clearly see that there is a dip in all the levels of nitrogen in all the cities all over. So this directly shows that this dip in, so this here the dotted line is the lockdown when lockdown was announced, and after that you can see the fall in nitrogen. And if I'm not wrong, the dark line over here is the current graph. So here it shows how much it has fallen, and it makes you wonder how much we've been polluting. All these days, people in Delhi were traveling wearing masks because of the nitrogen. I think for people in Delhi, it won't have made a difference because they're so used to wearing masks, regardless of whether there is coronavirus or there's pollution. So this shows how much of an effect, uh, what do you say, human activities and industrialization and industries play a role on the environment. Sachin, if you want to continue on this point.
Yeah, I'll like to share a few other pictures. Just a minute.
So yeah, as I was saying, the thing which I find very striking about this Earth Day is the fact that all these years you celebrated Earth Day usually in the form of switching off lights for about half an hour or 1 hour and different things like that. But this year, if you look at it, Earth Day is completely different. It's almost like as if we're actually celebrating Earth Day to its full extent, with the whole, almost the whole world being in lockdown of some form or the other. Might be a complete, it might be a partial. And you can see all over that plants, animals, especially animals, are having a really great time exploring the places which they were driven out of years before because of human activities. Sachin, go on. I was just waiting for you to share the.
Yeah. So if you see, China was the uh, was a huge had a huge contribution in this NO2 release. So you can see in this picture, like China had a lockdown, like major lockdown in February. You can see the difference in Jan and Feb, the levels of NO2. So this shows that, and even in India. So the particulate matter 2.5, what I was talking, PM
Yeah.
2.5 levels in India are also like fallen down very drastically and to very low level. We can observe in this picture, which is this one, the left picture in 2019 and the right one in 2020. So yeah, one second. So yeah, this is majorly because the flow of the industrial waste to the rivers and and the transportation sector that also contributes hugely to this, and and the electricity also. So I'd like to show some pictures of River Yamuna, like how it was
Hmm.
before and how it is now. There's a huge difference in this, and see, without human footprints, it's like major change. We can see a major change in this. Even the government had struggled a lot to, in case of River Ganga or River Yamuna, whatever it is, cleaning that part. Even government failed in that part. So, but it's we can see the positive results now. It's due to the lockdown. Yeah.
Uh, so
Anything else,
so
Ganesh?
what I also want to talk about over here is, how do you think we can sustain this positive effects maybe after the lockdown has been removed? I feel as a person we need to realize what this lockdown has shown to us on this earth, on this special earth day, that the earth is a very beautiful place and is a very important place for us. It is a place where we stay. We tend to forget that in our daily activities and as a part of our daily lives. So, how do we protect this earth? How do you think we can go out of this lockdown? How do we prevent the river, like a river like Yamuna? How do we prevent uh, animals from getting killed? I mean, going back in. I mean, how do you sustainably coexist with nature? Is my question now as a part of this after this lockdown has come down. Sachin or Ganesh, do any of you have any views on that?
Yeah, the government has to concentrate more on the sewage treatment plants. Even after this lockdown, they have to concentrate on that, and they have to have strong regulations for the industries. And that is one more. And worldwide, and even in India, like right now, the transportation sector is closed, and the we hugely depend on the non-renewable sources like the coal, fuel, and other oils. So for the energy, so that can be right now. It's a good opportunity for us to opt to renewable source of energy. So if you opt to that, I think it'll have a very big impact on this. Is what I feel.
Ganesh, what do you feel?
Yeah, also the fact that if we just jump back to our original standards of living where we just all together get out on the street, everything starts with a third, then I guess it'll still prove to be detrimental, even more detrimental than what usually happens because well, all the nature is now set itself into a one kind of pattern where uh, the human beings are not intervening too much. But now if we come back, and it's really going to affect everything, especially like the animals which are now roaming around freely. Now, someday when you actually find out, and that's something which we do not really want it to happen. So definitely a gradual move out of the lockdown. And two is that to also protect some of our fauna out there. I guess it's more important to find out clusters of animals around places where they've been spotted, so that they can definitely be taken care of before allowing too much of traffic to pass through. And also based on the fact that yeah, now since our rivers are clean, I guess this is one opportunity we should really grasp in and uh, try to work more definitely on our waste management and fossil fuel usage, because those are the main ones which really affect everything. So yeah, probably a great time to switch to electric cars, and definitely a thing for the government to look into, because we can have the different ways of segregation of waste and not ejection to the rivers, because now all that part is handled because the nature has handled itself, and I guess we have to now let it be in the same way so that we can have a better future in this planet.
So actually, for me to add, So for me to add to this point which Ganesh is talking about is that what I feel is now that India has been in a lockdown, and I was discussing in a previous video with Vaibhav about how Modi's idea of Swachh Bharat is coming into play much more faster. 1 second. Yeah. Uh, so yeah. So what I was talking about is that I feel I feel that as if all each individual of us, not only as an Indian but in general as a person, we need to take up this pledge that we will not dirty this environment further on after the lockdown, because it's very easy to undo whatever has been done very easily. So if you look at it, a lot of waste would have been in the Yamuna or any other place in landfills would have been due to the waste that people are throwing on the roadside or people are throwing into the rivers, which is not directly monitored. So this is one thing which I feel each person should uh, consciously control and should consciously change. And another thing which I would like to add is that since most of the industries are shut down right now, the government should uh, restart the industries in a graded manner and use this as a uh, point of opportunity to actually check all the industries for their industrial waste and how they go about releasing their effluents in whichever area it is, and bringing about more stringent norms and bringing about a more systematic method, especially for industrial waste, is what I feel. And like Sachin and both Ganesh are saying, it is very important now to start switching slowly to more renewable sources of energy rather than depending more on non renewable sources of energy. So, any other points, Sachin, Ganesh?
Like I have one point, like it's right, like it's quite difficult in a country like ours to impact this rule. Like we can have a lockdown like once per month, and that would be of great impact, and people would realize how clean the city can be, and how the air quality can be increased in that way.
I
So it'll
also
be like 12
yeah,
days a year.
that is actually a very good this one. And I think if that is implemented, maybe not in a country like India but in a smaller country, if it is implemented, I think it is very important to maybe uh, go and research if that is a viable option in a sustainable living coming after this lockdown. And I feel this is a very important point, and maybe if it works out and has a lot of benefits, I feel there is nothing wrong in any country and every country going ahead and implementing this. Yeah, there might be some economic problems, but
No,
that
it'll definitely have a like positive impact,
yeah.
because as we see now the environment changes. Like it is necessary. It's not like we are taking a break or something like that. It is necessary for us to do that. When we did the Janta curfew lockdown, the first time I saw, like it was very like everybody were uh, they obeyed it very strictly, and they were staying indoors, and I was shocked to see that. That was the first shock for me. So that can be repeated like once in a month is fine.
Yeah, that is
We
true.
can do that.
What do you feel, Ganesh? Do you think this is a very interesting?
I too guess is that this is a really nice way of doing it. Definitely, there are quite a few economic perks, but considering the fact that the government actually puts in a lot of money to try and do an environment uh, rejuvenation, I guess it could even be supported for having this kind of a lockdown. Maybe even a weekend kind of day when we don't perform so much of activity generally. But definitely, yeah, this sounds like a really good idea to keep ourselves at check.
And I would like to put one fact over here. Like based on the research the Stanford University did during this lockdown. Like wait, I'll just share a picture of this. Yeah. So yeah. So the coronavirus lockdown likely saved 77,000 lives in China just by reducing the population. So it's almost equal to the almost a few less than the deaths of coronavirus, which is right now. So only 1 month period of lockdown and reduction in the all these uh, polluted particles. So it saved the lives of 77,000 lives. Like it's a great thing.
Yeah, and I
It's
feel it's
the
not
number is
only,
few less
yeah.
than that. Yeah,
I feel it's
the
not
number
only
is few
lives.
less than the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, tell me.
I feel it's not only deaths due to pollution. I feel a lot of other things can also be sorted out. I'm sure there are a lot of other benefits which may not come into picture immediately, but only on a much later aspect when you look into it from hindsight, which I think we'll get to know at a much later point. Maybe we might not be able to witness it immediately. So yeah, so there are a lot of perks, like Sachin said, to having a regular lockdown once in a while, once in a month. So, is there any other point, Ganesh, Sachin, you would like to share? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I
That's
think
the one. Yeah.
this was a very short Earth Day special. We did it almost quite impromptu, and we did have a lot of technical problems. So please don't mind about the technical issues we faced in this. We shall set it right for the next video. So yeah, I would request people on this Earth Day special to just take 5 minutes and reflect about the Earth we're living in. Reflect about the actions we have and the influence we play on this, not only individually but also collectively as a human race. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the small quick Earth Day special discussion. So I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.